guys, it's your girl Deidre. Welcome back to my channel, Define Your Ready. If you want to know what I asked for that gave me more income without having to work a second job, if you want to know how I did it using law of attraction, stay tuned. I'll tell you exactly how I did it. Okay, you guys, welcome back. So I asked for more income. I have a full-time career. However, I still needed more. How many of you all can relate to that? So I asked, I said, Lord, I need to have this much more income in order for me to do some of the things that I want to do. Travel, save money, pay my bills, and work towards being debt-free. I asked for that. And if you notice that, I described it. I described why I wanted it, right? Because I want to be debt-free. I want to be able to save money. I want to be able to do these things. I described that for the universe, for my Lord, for God to know, here's what I'm asking for and why I'm asking for it. And I knew that I needed to position myself to be ready to receive it. And what I mean by positioning myself to be ready to receive it, I put it out there what I wanted, and also I described how much I wanted. And me being ready was making sure that my mind, my energy was aligned to my higher source. My higher source is my Lord Jesus. Your higher source, higher power, inner source, universe, it's all the same. Okay? So I had to make sure that I stayed in a good mindset. So I did that by not focusing on the fact that I didn't have that money right then. Instead, I focused on, oh, I can't wait till I have it. Right? That's a much happier, more energizing, more positive way of being ready. I also said, I need to make sure that when I'm looking at things, I'm looking at the good. So if there's even someone that I know is going to trigger me in a negative direction, I stay clear of that person. Or I found something good about that person that I could focus on, even if it was their hairstyle. If I like their hairstyle, but not the person with the hairstyle, I focus on the hairstyle. Oh, that hairstyle is perfect for them. I mean, whatever I did, I focused on good. And I stayed thankful and grateful. That was me being ready to receive it. So I said I wanted this income, right? Well, how in the world? Let me tell you how it came. I have a townhome. And one day I noticed that a few doors down, the elder couple was selling their townhome. And I thought, oh, they're selling their townhome. It's a seller's market right now. It was a seller's market right then when I noticed they had this for sale sign out. Sure enough, someone scooped up their townhouse very quickly. That was probably around May-ish. In June, not only did they have it sold, but the buyers of that new townhome actually purchased that home for an investment property. So they had a for rent sign out. And I thought, oh, okay, so they're renting that out. I had heard that many people in my townhome community were not homeowners that lived in the house, that were investment property owners. And so I started hearing more about that. And here we are with the townhouse for rent sign. And I took a picture of that one day. Don't ask, inspired thought. I took a picture of it. And I said, I'm just going to, see what that's all about. So I called it on my way to work one day. And I spoke with the gentleman. I said, I see that there's a for rent sign. And I gave him the location. And I said, is it still for rent? They said, we actually have someone that's actually rented it. And they'll be moving in next week and next month. They just rented today. And I thought, oh, wow. Do you mind if I ask how much it rented for? Everything's going to work out for them. So I asked, do you mind if I asked how much it rented for, and he goes, no, not a problem. It was for the amount that I was asking for. So I thought, oh my gosh, that's interesting. Okay, that started me thinking. That's how he does it. He is masterful. The universe is a master orchestrator of blessings. So, okay. Amazing. So I called, I found out about the amount. My mind started just going. It was interesting. At the same time, one of my employees, I happened to find out, was putting their house up for sale. And I was like, oh, it's such a beautiful home you had. And they said, yeah, it's such a seller's market. We thought, and that neighborhood that they were living in was changing, not for the better. And they thought they might as well go ahead and get in right now. And he mentioned that they had hired a stager, that their realtor had introduced him to a stager. And I thought, a stager? What is a stager? And so he told me it's a person that's going to come in and they'll give you ideas, or they'll come in and reset your house so that it's more inviting to potential homeowner buyers. I thought, oh, that's interesting. So that stayed in the back of my mind. My phone is ringing, you guys. So I thought that was interesting, right? Okay, didn't think anything about that. And I thought, well, he said seller's market, so should I sell it or should I rent it? So he gave the number to his realtor, and she was an amazing person. And she came in and said, oh yeah, we'll sell this in no time. And she goes, and what I can do is have the stager to come in, and she'll give you recommendations on paint colors and what you need to do. And she can even tell you to move your stuff out, and she'll move her stuff in just so that it's more appealing for a broader audience. So all of this stuff was happening. So I said, okay, so let me give you a timeline right now. So it was around May that I noticed the older couple was selling their home. June, I saw the for rent sign out. July is when I reached out and had a realtor and a stager to come out and give me some recommendations. And, you know, the stager came out and gave me recommendations, which I thought were great, but I was so excited about what she did, you know? So, I mean, that was, I said, oh, I could do that. I love that kind of stuff. But anyways, and my twin sister, I mean, she's amazing too at interior design. And so that had a whole nother place in my mind of excitement. And so I was toggling between, do I sell it? Do I rent it? Either way, the same amount of work that I would have had to do to rent or sell would be the same, right? Because I want renters to live in a place that they would feel good in, and I want a buyer to buy a house that they feel, a house that I love, to feel good about it. Okay, so in August I said, I am going to, and I talked to one of my friends, and I said, I want to be able to have more income, and I would like to offer an opportunity for you to have more income, because we've been talking about those same things. And so would you be open to me temporarily moving in with you, and I would store my stuff? And guys, I knew I was going to store my stuff and use my stuff to maybe stage. See how it's happening? But anyways, that's another story, and I'll share how that worked. And so she was very open to it. And plus that, she watches my 2 Pomeranians. Okay, so August, I found my storage unit, climate control storage unit. September 1st, I moved everything out of my house. And, okay, all right, so I had movers. And, you know, they came and they assessed what they could do for me, and it was at an awesome price. And here we go. I moved out September 1st on schedule, and I had things that needed to be fixed in my townhouse. So the good thing about it is, because I was staying in such a positive place, I don't know how the Lord made it possible for, and I'm going to just pull for 1 second, pull over, you guys. He made it possible for my income to be in such a position for me to get all the work done. And then I got to a point where, okay, my finances were shrinking a little bit, because I had, what all did I have done? I had to have a new hot water heater, you guys. And that should do about $400 or $500, but there was so much work that had to be done. It cost me about $1,700 for this hot water heater and installation and all that. So that took a good chunk of my budget unexpectedly that I had to do. And so a few things like that were happening, but I stayed in a good place. That's the key. Don't let the what's in the physical, don't let false evidence get you off track of what it is that you want. You know that you already have it. And being ready is saying, I'm excited for the actual physical manifestation of it. To bring you full circle, remember the seller? I still was trying to figure out, am I renting or am I selling? The day that I moved out, one of my neighbors across the street, he saw me moving out, and we had been talking back and forth. And he's the one who told me about many of the townhomes in my area was starting to become investment properties, and that's why he bought his. And I had never talked to this guy. I lived out in my townhome area for like 9 years, and it was in this time frame that he and I and his wife, we started talking a little bit more. And that's, again, God, the universe coming and bringing the right people into your space. The day that I moved, and I literally, the guys were taking the last bit of stuff on the truck, and I was following them to the storage unit. He goes, oh, so you decided to go ahead and do it, right? I said, yeah, I decided to go ahead and sell it. He goes, sell it? He goes, don't miss out. Don't miss out on an income. You will still own your property, and you will be having the property bring money to you. If you sell it, you don't have it anymore. And while it's good money in a chunk and a lump sum, that will dwindle if you don't have a plan for it. And I thought, I love my townhouse. And this was the first thing that big purchase that I made by myself when I got divorced, you guys. It was at that moment that I decided I'm renting it. What's interesting is someone else was telling me about a person that I knew who, now I knew she was a realtor, but I didn't know she was a property manager. And I reached out to her. Very quickly she came. My house was now completely empty, but it had the old carpet and all this stuff. It had work to be done, but my new countertops were in. And so I asked her about, you know, what her thoughts were about renting. She said, Deidre, this house will rent very easily, and you will get top dollar for that rental. She said, now, it is, at that time, that was, I moved out September 1st. She goes, September 1st, she goes, we got to move fast. She goes, because we're moving into the holiday season, and it's harder to rent sometimes in the holiday season because now people are focused somewhere else. And I said, okay. So that was September 1st, around September. October, I knew I needed to have a few things fixed in the house. And I had one of the guys who helped move to rip out all of the carpet in the house, because I knew I had to put new carpet down. And then I said, oh, Lord, because the stager said it would be great if you had, if not hardwood, had laminate or something like that on the floor, because that's really selling. And, you know, paint the whole house this neutral color. And she gave, this is the new color. It's very modern and feel. It's going to go great with your countertop. So she gave me all these recommendations. So the month of October was about, and September and October was about getting some of those things done and some things fixed in the house. And remember I said my finances was going like this. In October, my property manager said, Deidre, we got to put it on. When are we going to put it on the market? I'm ready to take pictures. And I said, okay, the end of October, by November 1st, I will have all new flooring in. I don't know. I have to ask for that because I knew my finances did not have all new flooring money. Okay, I said I'm going to have all new flooring down, and everything's going to be ready November 1st. She goes, okay, great, I'll be ready for you. And in that same month of October, this little baby here got tired and broke down on me. It ran hot. That's another expense. But I stayed in a good place because I said, Lord, I know you're working it out. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I know it's going to all work out for the good. Everything's always working out for me and my family. I kept living in that mantra, in that knowing that it's going to work out. November 1st, not only was I driving my baby and she was feeling good and has been feeling good ever since, I also had not just laminate, I had a more durable product on the floor. It was flank vinyl flooring, I think is what they call it. Beautiful dark charcoal gray, which matched and looked very good and clean, and everything was fit. Brand new carpet all upstairs and the stairs, all up the stairs and all upstairs, and it was ready. My twin sister would come and help me do a few little pieces, and that was exciting because we started using YouTube to learn how to do a lot of the work ourselves. I mean, things were falling into place, you guys. It's a master plan. And then my storage unit was filled. I was nicely placed in with my friend, and we were doing great. Let's see, my palms were getting used to their new environment. And now we had showings of the townhouse. And the feedback was great. A great townhome. I did have 3 bedrooms. 1 bedroom was smaller, so it would be comments like that. And then, but I said, my twin sister and I would always say, but it's the right tenant for this house. And then it came, the offer. And my property manager said, Deirdre, we have the perfect tenant. They're getting ready. And when she did the credit check, she did the background check, she did the income verification, it all checked out. But they couldn't move in until January. This is November. And I said, oh wow, I was hoping that we could get renters in by Christmas. And so she said, I tell you what, rather than having them sign a 12-month lease, I will say that what do you think if they sign a 15-month lease? That way, when they do move out, it will put you in prime season again, because 12 months will put us right back in the same season. But if they sign a 15-month lease, when they leave, if they do or they renew, doesn't matter, but at least it'll put you back on track for a good rental season. I thought, okay, and they did it. So they put their deposit down, and I had renters. They moved in January 15th because they were still playing out their lease on the other place. And I like that because they didn't want to break their current lease. That also showed a sign of integrity. And remember, I wanted the right tenants. Oh my goodness. I had the income that I asked for. And I did not have to work a second job. And they have been wonderful to work with. I mean, I'm not working with them at all. My property manager is. And you know what else, you guys? I did not have stainless steel. This is now, I'm talking to you guys in September now. It's been a year since I moved out of my townhome. And I've also started my home staging business. I'll tell you that and how that worked out in the next video. But just look, you guys, you have to define what it is you want. Being ready is our place, and that just means staying in a good place. We don't have to worry about how it's going to get done. That's not our job. That's not our focus. Our focus is staying positive and staying in such a good place and allowing the universe, the Holy Spirit, our God, to bring the right people in at the right time. See, I thought I wanted to sell it? No. I needed the stager to come into my knowing that that's something I would like to do. So, that saga, I will share in the next video. All right, you guys. I thank you for hanging in there for that story. I just wanted to tell you how I was able to manifest income. And I've been receiving it for 9 months and just enjoying having that extra income. It can come. Just define it for yourself, and then make yourself be ready, because it's already there in the universe. It's just waiting for you to ask for it. Okay, you guys, be easy. Stay in a good place. And I'll see you on the next Define You're Ready. Thumbs up and subscribe. I do a video every day, you guys. Bye.